a business design for myself or a logo for myself. Like the wins really gladdens my heart because the entire purpose of the Skill for Work Academy is to make sure that someone is able to do the things that people in the global space, or will I say in the Western world, are able to do in the workspace. And they know it and they are confident enough to do it. So that's the entire purpose. So I am glad that we are all improving. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to probably let 5 people speak at the beginning of this session before we get to the workshop proper. How is it going for you? What are your wins? What are your experiences? How is it going for you in the academy right now? I think we have about another 15 minutes to do that. Then we get started with the main work itself. So how is it going? Who wants to speak first? Just use the raise hand button. Of course, you should understand what that is by now because you've done Zoom. Use the raise hand button. Okay, Precious is the first person. And Precious, after Precious is Romelia Jerome. And let's have Precious. I want to hear from you all. I want to hear from you. So probably have 5 people now, then maybe later another 5 people. So Precious, go on.
Good afternoon, Ma. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Okay, so I really want to thank you for the work that you put in putting this program together. And when you said it's a remote workers program, you were really right, because every information that is required, you made sure that you had it in there, and it was so enlightening. Last week I was able to plan to put up a firm's strategy document from start to finish, from interpreting the vision and all of that. And immediately they gave me that. I was like, oh, I had seen this we had just finished this in the module. I went back, visited the module again, and I sat down with that document. It took me about 4 days or something, but by the time I was done interpreting and I sent it back, I could tell myself that they looked at it and they were so impressed. And I was so proud of the job I had done. And as I yesterday, I was trying to put together my LinkedIn cover photo with Canva. A lot of things I've just been able to do using Miro to design, to using whiteboard on Miro to put together some things. It's a whole lot of, and the research. In fact, the program is a total package, and I really want to thank you so much for putting it together, painstakingly teaching us everything that we need to know. I love the enlightenment I've gotten and the exposure that I've gotten from that program. Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Precious, for that wonderful. And I like that you are very concise. You said specifically what was, I like your feedback, as in, I like the tone of your feedback, not just about the feedback itself. Because one of the things that is important for us in this academy is to ensure that we are raising people that can be articulate, that can speak their mind, that can, go straight to the point and talk about what they know and the confidence. Like, so I'm not surprised at your feedback in like when you were able to do what, like, it's just amazing to hear. It's amazing to hear. It's amazing to hear, like, even the things you didn't know you needed in the workplace, because every other person around you don't know that it exists. You now know that they exist because, and you are able to implement it. And that is the joy for me. When people tell me something like it's for recent graduate, I said, no, it's not for recent graduate. It is for almost anybody who is literate, from a retiree to a 15-year-old person in GSS 3 or SS1 or whatever. Because they are literate and they will need to do one form of work or the other, whether for themselves as an entrepreneur, anybody alive, we need to earn a living at some point in some way or manner. And if you have to earn a living, you need to do some form of work. And if you need to do some form of work at any point in your life, then you need this program. And that is what I'm just hearing you say. Thank you very much, Precious, for that feedback. Now, Romelia, unmute yourself. Romelia, where are you joining us from? After Romelia is Stella Oyebanji. After Stella is Itel John Obi. Romelia, please go on.
I'm here, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon,
afternoon.
Dr. AAA. Good afternoon, fellow classmates. I totally agree with what Precious has just said. Just to add a little bit to that, for me, will be the demystification of everything. So I'm someone who's naturally confident on my job. I'm a broadcast journalist, so confidence is something that is far from us. However, when it comes to apps and tools, they scare me to death. And so I usually will pass them off to editors, to producers, and it did look like I could never get a hang of them, and I didn't know why. However, after starting your class, I couldn't believe it that I could handle Google Tools from beginning to the end. Canva was the deal for me, how I could handle Canva. And now I am competing with my producers and editors, and they are just amazed and wondering what happened to Romelia between October and November, and no one can really understand. And I will not tell them, no, I have told one to join the GOP, so he has no choice but to join the GOP. And then we have LinkedIn that I'm yet to get to. I just want to say thank you that you made it easy for me to not see the stumbling blocks in all of these tools. The producers and editors will always tell you, you can undo what you have done. It didn't make sense. But now I know I can undo what I have done. I can just go back and do things. Now I'm sending links to everybody, every document. I'm going to Google document, typing everything and sending them links. And they're going, what am I supposed to do with this? I have sent you my document, and that is all I am doing. So I want to say thank you that you have moved me from 1922 to the 21st century. Thank you so much. And I cannot wait to experience what other learning. It's a beautiful learning experience for me. I'm enjoying every bit of the journey. And I hope I clinked that remote job very soon. And I do hope you will lead me towards that. But I have no doubt in my mind that this is where I should be. I regret that I haven't done this before now, but regret is only for fools, but I'm moving forward from here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for that. It's so heartwarming. And I'm just like blushing practically here. And you know, that statement I said, I thank you for moving from 1922 to the 21st century. It really made me laugh. And I'm just gladdens my heart. And when you said, like, you just send them links and they should do what they want with the link. If you don't know how to figure out how to navigate the link, that is your problem, go learn and everything like that. And it's just beautiful. Like, it is just beautiful to see how your life just becomes really easy. I like, when I tell people, like, if you, I do not think a human being that is alive, that is literate, should not know how to navigate Canva, because it's just like everything you are doing. The fact that you can just go there and whip up something and say, you people, I want this thing, and they are still saying, we have to call editor, we have to call this thing. Like, are you kidding me? Can we just get this thing done and move on? And everything like that is beautiful to see. Because I, for one, believe that everybody has a capacity to create something because we have ideas in our head. But the fact that you have to first explain it and explain it and explain it to a graphic designer, it's fun facts. Even when I probably work with a professional sometimes, instead of me to explain the entire, I want this thing, I just go to Canva and say, you see this template, something like this in this thing, that is what I want. And it is easier for both of us. Instead of me sitting there in a 30-minute meeting and I'm explaining concepts on how the entire team of a conference and everything should look like, and they still come back with nonsense to me. It just, the fact that you know the job, you know what you want it to look like, you can find them something from somewhere on Canva and say, this is this, add this to this, makes everybody's life easier. So even in delegation, even if you're not going to do it yourself, you are able to be someone that delegates better. And I like that you are doing it at work already. Taking the link, giving it to them, and they are all like, what are we doing? And for every batch that's come on this program, there's always that one person like this that their workplace is asking them, what happened to you in 1 month? Like they can't figure out. They know something is happening to the person. And in fact, let me tell you one fun thing. One person that happened to, our boss was really threatened, like really, really threatened by the drastic change. And our boss was, a very nice boss started to misbehave to her. And because the boss was already afraid that she was going to leave her job because of how good she had become in 1 month. Like you can imagine you get so good in 1 month that your boss is afraid you're going to leave. And the person starts to misbehave. That is how the upgrade happened. And it was so obvious in the organization. So I totally can relate with when you say that everybody is wondering, did this person, did they switch this person somehow? Like, that's beautiful to hear. It's beautiful to hear, probably because over 78% of the people in this academy are people that are in one form of a job or another. And they are experienced people. Obviously, what you sound like, you're a journalist, as in you sound like one and everything. So it is not about the technicality of your job. It is not about the workplace skills that you lack that could have made your life really easy, but because you know the technicality of your job, but it's the how to do the job in a very productive and efficient way that everyone is now having to learn. Thank you so much for that feedback. It gladdens my heart to hear it. Now let's hear from Stella Oyebanji, the third person. After Stella is Itel John B, and then you have EMC. Stella Oyebanji, please go ahead and unmute yourself.
Can you hear me, Ma? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm fine, and you?
I'm good.
Doctor, good afternoon. I just want to say thank you. You know, when I came across this course online, I was on a crossroad. I think I told the person that sent the message to me, I was just searching to see how I can better myself, better my life. Yes, I'm a professional in my job, but you know, in Nigeria these days, you don't have to put all your baskets in one place. I have a lot of things, I have a lot of ideas that I really want to do, but there is no way forward. And that day I got to know about I Train Africa. I sat down on my room on the bed floor, I was crying, you know, and that thing just popped up on my Facebook page. I was like, who is this? Yes, I've spent money to go for some training courses, but this one is very, very different. Very, very different. I told Esther, or was it Esther, or the person that is attending to us on WhatsApp, I told the person that I would have loved to join the next batch. But because I've been in and out, I'm a journalist by profession. I've been in and out town, and you know, I do remote job outside, as in I travel a lot. So it's not easy for you to be carrying laptops from one place to the other. That's why I've not been able to meet up with my assignments. But now I've been granted my annual leave, so I can settle down now and finish it up. What I really want to say, and I want to use it to encourage others. I'm over 50, like I told, like I told, is it Memuna now? I'm over 50, and
Lena.
I've seen, yes, I have seen myself in a place of leaving the job even before I clock the age of retirement. Um, Doctor, thank you. I'm weeping already. You know, when I first joined the first two modules you were talking about Google Tree, I never knew that there are lots of things I can do with Google. I only go there, just check for information and go out. But now, hey, I'm a guru when it comes to that. At my place of work, before I tendered my letter for my annual leave, somebody said, Ma, we want to do this, we want to do that. I just said, come, sit down. The lady sat down. I said, this is how you do about it. She said, Ma, how did you? I said, don't ask questions, just do what I say you should do. Don't just ask, because if you begin to ask, I don't know how to say it, but I know that when I'm through with it, I'm going to tell you the whole thing. So I even introduced her now to I Train Africa, that if she has the money, she should join the next batch. I think there's a next batch coming after her set. Then also for the Canva, Doctor, I'm still finding it a bit technical. Maybe because I've not been able to sit down properly to do all I need, the research I need to do about it. But I know I will get it better and better. Thank you also. I want to, before I forget, I used to plan myself, but I never knew that I planned it kata kata. For this time around, I had to see that I plan for daily, I plan for weekly, and now I have yearly. I combine all to my goal for, in fact, 2025 now. I already have what I want to do for 2025 already done. Doctor, thank you. I'm crying already, please. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. This warms my heart because again, you touched on the structure model. And in all honesty, I always say the difference between people that really succeed and you will see them doing success back to back or doing things like they just, how come their life is arranged? I always say it's like, trust me, a lot of structure and planning has gone into that thing. So when they show up daily, they are executing. When they show up daily, they are executing. And I always say it is not the most brilliant person in the class, it's the greatest executor in the class that is going to have the biggest success. I always tell people, I offboarded a set of interns at the foundation part of IT Africa today, and I told them the same thing. I said, learn something, execute. Learn, execute. Why? Because it is in the execution that we have results. Stop packing knowledge, packing knowledge, packing knowledge, packing knowledge, and you are not executing it. One of the reasons I had to design SFW this way, in such a way that I'm making people do assignments and not graded assignment, but assignments in such a way that they're doing it, we are doing this live project, is to ensure people are executing. Because what is the point of me giving you all the expo or the blueprints on how you can easily do this, but you are not practicing it? And in you planning to like daily, weekly, I was joking with my friend right before this meeting, and I said, my brain has shut down for the year. I said, because the only thing remaining for me to do this year is learn for my 2025 goals. So right now, you see me paying to be in rooms, in conferences, in places with people that has brain. Because why? I'm already planning on how I am the best version of myself for 2025. Like my brain is ready to receive more value from people around me on the things I need knowledge around for me to be ready. And this is just what? 5th day of November. So when somebody now sees me January doing, they think what planning went into it. I've already started to plan how I need to be the best version of myself in 2025 in terms of the knowledge I need, the people I need, and everything. So you see that structure model, I always say like, forget now life, talk about job. There is absolutely nobody that will excel on a remote job without planning or structuring that work. Because nobody, it is in the office, you will call, people will gather, you will now do morning prayer, do this, and I say, okay, oh, you, this week, you don't do all that stuff. So at least there's somebody guiding you, or you are seeing somebody doing the right thing. So you don't have to plan for it. In a remote job, especially in the global space, people just come and strategize for meetings. And they'll just say, hi, this is last week we got this result and my priorities for the week. Whereas you are there looking like, because you've not even thought through your job for the week. You've not thought through what you need to do. You don't know what you need to do. Then you come to the meeting and you don't even have priorities for them. You don't even have what you want to do, not a lot of priorities. Do you understand? So it means that you must have thought through your entire, why they employed you. You break why they employed you into milestones of quarter and all that. Then you break your quarter into months, you break your month into weeks, you know what you're going to focus on. So for me, I feel like I always say like that was a module that I had to teach a bit of project management, but project management for yourself, to manage your own self or your work as a project. So thank you. And I am happy. You say you're in your 50s. I say, I've seen a lot of people. It challenges me, which is why some people say, oh, you don't cut graduate or recent graduates some slack. I said, I can't cut them slack because in the academy, I have seen retirees. I had a 65-year-old in the last batch, right? So what are you talking about? How do I cut a 20-year-old slack and say it is all right for them not to know? And a 65-year-old is in the academy, then it means that we can all cross the course of our life, or our choices are highly dependent on what we like. It's dependent on us, because it is like people in their 60s they were not born into technology. they are just trying to get into it. But some of you are born into technology and you still come and say it is all right for you not to know these things when you could have just searched and everything. But thank you very much for that. Now I'm going to take Itel, then lastly, Yemisi Louis. Itel, please unmute yourself. Uh-oh, where is Itel?
Good evening, ma.
Okay, good evening. We have a guy in the house.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. My name is Itel Jonubi, and my day is going great. I just want to say thank you to Mrs. Aderinsola for helping me, because basically, since I started this whole thing, I have been more organized with all the things I want to get done, based on writing, shooting content, and watching these videos. I didn't even know that I would be able to get all of them done. I was just like, okay. I can do it, I can do it. But now I'm so happy, because based on my video aspect, I usually slack off based on, like, I do 1 or 2 videos, but now I've increased it to like 5 videos, 6 videos, and I'm making more progress as I go along. And I'm honestly just very grateful, because I'm starting to see value in myself, and I'm starting to understand a lot of things I didn't know before, especially in the soft skill aspect. There were a lot of things that were just in front of me, but I just didn't think of it and I didn't see them as important. But now, thanks to Mrs. Aderinsola, it has helped me, especially working on myself and working with people. So thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Itel, for that feedback. And I like what you said. They were right in front of you. And that is the part that used to pain me then. I didn't know. It's not like you were not educated. But just like Google was always there. How come I did not know? Like, I was pained. I think when I was creating the curriculum for workplace foundational skills and creating, I created it from a place of pain. Like, I was pained. Like, how do I not know? For God's sake, I was on I was on PhD. How do I not know? And they were right in front of me. So I totally understand you. Like, this thing was in front of me now. As in, I know Google now. But I think that is where experience really comes in, because not having a chance to use it to do work or to deliver a task means that even if they mentioned it to you, you would never know, because you are not using it. And that is why I keep emphasizing people should show up for this workshop. People should do their assignment. Use it. Use it. There's nothing I'm using your mark for. There's nothing I'm using your assignments for. But you need to use it, because it is in using it that when the next work scenario or task or whatever presents itself, you know exactly what to use for it. And that is the most beautiful part. When you know that there is nothing they bring to you, you can find a digital tool for it. You can find a solution for it. In fact, you know that even if I don't know it, I'm sure you have all gone through the research mode, the communication, doing research. I say, right now, I see less questions on Telegram. I know why. The moment people get that model for communication, research, questions drop. You know why? People now realize that they don't have to ask me. They could just use the knowledge in the course and go and do their own research, and they will know it. And that is one of the things today's project is centered around, like ability to research. I always say, aside communicating your vision or communicating, I think ability to research is the biggest skill alive. Like, knowing that you can find anything or you can find solutions to anything, research anything, find answers to anything is the biggest gift. And I'm glad that we are at that point that we are getting into that space. Now, lastly, Yemisi Louis, unmute yourself. Then we are going to start our workshop.
Good evening, Doctor.
Good evening.
Okay, my name is Yemisi Louis. I'm 48. I've been working since 2002. I must say that, in fact, I'm the happiest person here. For over 15 years, I've worked with multinationals. And, you know, I've had this Google Mail, but I didn't know that I was just scratching, you know, the surface. So getting to, you know, use all the about 20 tools in Google, you know, the Google Doc, the Google Sheets, using Google Form. In fact, I've had to use Google Form so many times after, you know, the module to, you know, collect information instead of just typing the questions on WhatsApp, trying to get information. I just, you know, designed the tool, the Google Form, and then I share the link, and then I get all the responses, and I'm able to also link it to, you know, the Google Sheet. In fact, it's so amazing. You know, being able to use the Google Meet, you know, for meetings, the Google Calendar to plan, and then the Google Slides also for presentation, you know, using those templates instead of trying to build everything, you know, from the scratch. In fact, it gladdens my heart so much. Then using the meeting tool Zoom. I've been using Zoom, but I've never used it to stream on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. In fact, I feel like a pro, you know. And then using the collaborative tools, Miro, you know, in fact, the one that tops it up. In fact, the summation of everything is using the Canva. As a design tool, I've had to design, you know, flyers. I've had to edit videos and images to schedule, to organize, you know, to write ebooks and all of that. The communication tool Slack. I've had to also use WhatsApp to build my business. In fact, all those things I didn't used to, you know, pay attention to. And then came the ChatGPT. I've been using ChatGPT, but not in the way that you really emphasized on it. I can now use it for my meeting agenda, for my minutes of meeting, to create SOP, to write concept notes, you know, to write simple, you know, proposal. And then the last module, how to sell yourself. In fact, that module blew my mind. You know, I've been on LinkedIn, but you know, I didn't used to post, I didn't used to do so much on it. So I had to go back, you know, to the LinkedIn, and I had to look at my CVE, my cover letters, before I would send a particular CVE for every, you know, for every, how do I put it? For every, yes. But now I know that I need to customize my CV based on the role I'm going for, or I'm applying to. In fact, I've gained so much. In fact, I was just telling my husband, you know, sometime 2 weeks ago, I told him that the first thing, my son is in SS2 right now. Sorry, SS3 is graduating next year by God's grace. And I told my husband, I said, the first thing this boy must do, he must join the class. I want my son. That's my next. I'm serious. That's my next.
I agree with you. I have an 11-year-old in GS2. I'm making him take the program.
And my husband has agreed with me that once he finishes his exams in June, July, the first thing he's going to do is he's going to do this course. I want to prepare him. I don't want his case to be like my case. I wish I had known so about this, you know, earlier than this. But like they say, it's better late than never. I still thank God that I came across you. I came across this, you know, course. But for my son, he's doing this immediately he graduates. So I can't thank you enough. I'm so glad I met you. I'm so glad, you know, I took part in this course. Thank you so much. God bless you. God bless all that pertains to.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you so much for that warm feedback, Mr. Louis. Thank you so much. It's well, as we can't wait to have your son. Trust me, like the 17-year-olds, the 18-year-olds that took it right before university, and I see them now, it gladdens my heart. As in, I'm like, see now, as I see teenagers who said teenagers don't have sense or this, and I said, occupy them with things that really matter, and you'll be amazed that like they are one of the 17-year-old that joined me, like was it last year or last 2 years, like the guy is running a business using Canva designs on printed shirts, and I'm like, it's just one of the models. He took it, ran with it, and it's just amazing. It's just amazing to watch. It's just amazing. Like when they want to pitch their business, oh, I want this thing to this thing, they know what to do. They don't go there doing rubbish. They go with a Canva presentation. They like, it's just amazing. As you can't even believe they're teenagers. And because they are now Gen Z and they use the old or Gen Alpha and all this thing, they use the old TikTok, like what some of us are struggling with, right? So they accelerate. So they just need to have the small sense and they use social media to do the rest. It's amazing, trust me. And even for you, I understand. Some of us always say we learned late, but by any time when we wake up might be our morning. Meaning that it's our morning, so we are going to make the best use of what we know right now to accelerate. And thank you so much. Gladys, we're going to take 5 people. But you know what? One more max, that's just a Nifisi bonus. So Gladys, 1 minute and we get right to this.
Oh, good afternoon. Oh, good evening, everybody.
Good evening. Good evening.
I'm so sorry, and good evening, Doc. I'm so sorry I joined late, work and all that. So basically, I want to believe it's about testimonials we're talking about. So I'll share my own testimonials and at the same time ask just a question, if you permit me, please. Can I do that?
Yes, please go ahead. Please just make it fast. Sorry, but yeah.
Okay, yes, I'll make it very snappy. Yes, the course has been awesome, really. Like the other speaker just said, it's not that we are not aware of these things, but it's just that going in depth, for instance, Canva, I've always known about Canva, but having to use it as much as I've used it in this couple of weeks has been mind-blowing. Then my LinkedIn, I have watched the videos so many times, and I can tell you, Doc, I have not even been able to start because there's so much to do, there's so much to write, there's so much, value you've passed to us, to me especially in terms of information. And I can tell you, it's not been the same. Even for the Google tools, the docs, the sheets, I have been aware, but I'll just be like, I'm already used to Microsoft. Let me just, maintain what I know. But it's the information has been mind-blowing. Thank you so much, ma'am. Then secondly, I would love to register for GOP. I'm an HR professional. I have my certifications in ACIPM and SHRI. That's an international certification I did just this year. But the thing is, I want to major in HR. I've got 5 years of HR experience. I've got sales. I've got finance, right? But majorly HR has always been my passion because it's been my discipline. So now the question is, I've got so much on my plate right now. I'm so overwhelmed, and I know today is the last payment date for the GOP. So what I'm asking now is, can I defer? Because I wouldn't want to start and I'll start struggling. Yes, the WFS has been great. Yes, I pushed myself. Most of the assignments but all of the assignments except for the one for today, that is the last, submission due date. That's one I've not done, but I pushed myself. But it's been so overwhelming. So can I defer or pay now and defer the lessons? Is that a possibility, or what would you advise?
Yes, it is a possibility. It is a possibility for you to defer. So what it means is you won't join the live workshops that is going to start on November 8th. You will join. So what really is batches for GOP is the support, right? Like, let me say the support of the GOP when it is like GOP has 3 major elements. When I say major, 3 major elements, like it has the courses, 2 courses. The first course is around profile building and clarity and profile building. The second one is about LinkedIn optimization and positioning. So that's what makes the PPP framework, right? Then the workshops is where we now talk about how you then write the kind of articles that then bring people to you after you have built the profile and optimized and all that. So what it means is once people pay us in March and say they will join in July, the support. So it's the support that is in batches, not the learning itself. So if people feel like I can't join the support that is starting on November 8th, they pay, we give them access to their courses and they start to take it at their pace. When they are ready, let me say we do it twice a year, March, July, and November. So it made the next round of support is March. So the only thing we always put a caveat is sometimes people now go, because I've seen that happen, they will use their December break, their December holiday. That's December holiday. People have leaves, breaks, and all that. They will get on the course and boom, like there's no opportunities start for them, and they're like, okay, something came, I need support, and they expect you to render them support of this thing. Then we now start to tell them that for you to like get access to ask your questions and all that, is that you pay 1 hour of as at now 107,500 to speak with Dr. Renzola and quickly get your answers if you cannot wait for March. Because the whole idea of the support, the knowledge is almost like kind of complete in the program, in the course itself. But I realized that we just, okay, let's do the support as a bonus, which is why I do it in batches. That is what my capacity can carry. Like, let me support people in groups and batches these 3 times a year as a bonus on the program. So for someone that then wants that support outside what I'm offering as a bonus on the program, they then have to pay for that support at the time they need it. So that is what I always say, that please, you can get it. Some people don't even come back for support because they watch the course, it delivers what they need to do, they get their result, and they just disappear. We just discover that they don't show up, like they don't come for the support this thing, because if you've gotten results, why am I coming for support? Like, so it happens. So I always make that clear that should you now need support before the next round of support that you're deferring to, which is starting March, what it means is you then need to go and pay for a one-on-one clarity session of 1 hour to get that support. So that's how I always tell people that GOP is always open because the main knowledge is open. You pay, we give you access. And sometimes too, some people will, as now say, oh, I've joined 2 live workshops. Can I now defer? I say, no, you cannot defer. So it is either you get the course and you defer, come and join another live support, or you join the next round of live support. But to now say, I've done 2 weeks, I cannot catch up. No, that is not deferment. That is now you changing your mind, this thing. So it means that if you must join another round, you're going to pay for the next round. So that's the explanation around GOP. So yeah. And
okay, ma'am, the GOP. I'm listening.
What? Please go on.
Okay, I wanted to say that the GOP's section, how many weeks is it? The same? Is it 6 weeks?
It's 6 weeks, and it is 7 to 10 p.m. on Friday nights. We put it at that time because, of course, professionals are working. So we start at 7 p.m. West African time. And so, depending on the number of people and all that stuff, we extend the meeting. It's 7 to 9 on the calendar, but I always prepare people that people have questions and all those things. So I extend the meeting sometimes to 10 p.m. So it's not convenient for me, but it's what we do, like 7 to 10 p.m. Because again, people have engagement at the weekend. So over the years, we've had to go back and forth. And the time we've all agreed of eventually was 7 to 10 p.m. on Friday night. You finished work, your weekend has not started. So you use that time for self-development. That is what we do. But you must watch the course before the workshop, because the knowledge, I am not teaching you in the workshop. So the workshop is for implementation. It's like you watch what is on the course. The entire course, the first one is about 5.5 hours. The second one is about 5.5 hours. And do you understand? So it is what someone could watch in 2 days, technically, like 2.5 hours. Someone that drives in Lagos or has a driver, by the time they do go come and listen to it, they will listen to it in 2 days, technically. So it is what they must watch it, because when they don't watch it, you come to class and you're expecting me to be teaching you. I'm not teaching in the class. I am expecting that you understand the framework when you come to class, and we are then implementing together. It is a workshop where people come with their laptop and say, oh, doc, I did this. I did, because in the first part of the program, you are made to do 3 life exercises. there's one that's about stakeholders, there's one that is about personal this thing. A lot of clarity goes on into the first part of the course because again, LinkedIn positioning to become globally visible. It's about people seeing you uniquely for who you are
Yes.
and the value you can bring on board. So
Yeah.
before you can communicate the value you bring on board to others, you must get your shit together in the sense that you must understand who you are. You must know the message you want to pass at this phase of your life, and then you can pass that message on to others. So we do a lot of that self-awareness work at the beginning. Then we now go to building the profile. You now understand this is how I want to look like in the face of the world. Then we build that profile, then you optimize your profile for that. Then you then learn how to write articles and do other things that helps you then get discovered by those people. Then they reach out. So that is how this entire system works.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much. I
You're
understand
welcome.
it now.
Yeah, so you can just reach
Thank
out to
you.
Moina and tell her that you want to pay. Moina, if you're in this meeting, you could also drop the link in case there's another person that has a question around that. Eunice Clements, is it a question you have? Because we really need to start this workshop. We need to start this workshop. We need to start this workshop.
Okay, ma. Good afternoon, everyone. Oh, good evening.
Afternoon, Eunice. I'm guessing you are muted again. So
hello, good evening, everyone.
I'm saying, is it a question you have or a testimonial? So I know if you can defy it.
Okay, it's a testimonial, not question, ma.
Okay, please, you have 30 seconds, then we can move. 30 seconds, 1 minute max. Thank you.
All right, ma. Thank you so much. I really want to appreciate the teachings, the courses. I learned about these courses with my madam. I just finished my BSc, and she said, Eunice, you need to improve in your computer and all that. And I said, okay, ma. She registered me, and I'm really, really enjoying the program. Thank you so much, doctor. I'm enlightened in so many ways. Especially like everybody has been saying in their Canva is something else. I really appreciate that. At least I am improving in my computer literate. I am getting confident on myself. Really, thank you so much, doctor. God bless you.
Amen. That's one recent graduate who has taken the bull by the horn and is she's going to be different in the labor market. She's not going to be regular graduate, a recent graduate who understands what she's doing and she has learned, and she trust me, she's going to be different. It's just normal in the labor markets. And people will be saying, but she doesn't have experience. But guess what? She has picked up the work experience by just being here. So thank you very much. Now we can proceed. Now let's go to our workshop. Who is ready? So please, I always like to say in this workshop that please participate in this workshop. Don't be that person that they will now be there, you are quiet. You know why? This in itself is experience you can present when it is time to use that experience. I'm going to say it again, I don't know if you were in workshop 1, but I said it in workshop 1, that when they asked me for experience regarding a particular thing about the use of about the use of innovation virtually, but I mentioned Miro. I mentioned it on the course, but I'm saying it again, and I mentioned Miro. I used Miro on a webinar project I did alongside other people outside of this thing, not because it was work in the sense of paid work. So please, how you tell your story matters. Instead of this thing, I don't have experience in this thing. The language to use, like I worked on a project collaboratively with a group of 10 people where we brainstormed on the project, we generated, like, that is how to report this. Because some of you will end up doing this workshop and you will still not realize that it's an experience you can tender. Please, but you have to do the experience. You have to make the experience happen in this workshop. Listening on the experience is different from participating in the experience. Please take note of that. Now let's go on. The aim of this project will be that this is a Second Life Project workshop for the Workplace Foundational Skills Program. And we will be testing some soft skills. And this will include your ability to organize, ability to draft standard operating procedure. Of course, it is important we structure things, and to structure things, we need operating procedures. We also need to test your ability to plan, like plan a sequence of work in your head, like the sequence of work, which should come first and things like that. Then your ability to coordinate amongst other skills. You will see other skills, of course, ability to work in a team and everything. Now let's go. What is the case scenario for this particular thing? Aisha, Aisha, can you download the PDF of this particular presentation slide and send it to them on Telegram? Download the PDF, send it to them on Telegram, so that when they get into the breakout room, they can do it. Now, iTrain Africa wants to launch batch 6, which is next year, February. By February 1, the next batch of WFS will start. Your batch is the last official batch for 2025. In 2026, we are hoping to launch another WFS. And please note, the minimum number of people we want in that batch is 1,000 people. So I'm expecting that you will also bring, tell a friend to tell the family to tell a brother that they need WFS. Now, iTrain Africa wants to launch batch 6 of the WFS program, and they would like to organize a team meeting to analyze batch 5 results first. They would like to organize a team meeting to organize batch 5 results first, right? Could you do 3 things that I'm going to show you on the next slide? Number 1, write a good prompt for ChatGPT explaining the agenda.
Please, you're muted, ma.
Oh, yeah, thank you. So, as I was saying, write a good prompt for ChatGPT and explain the agenda. That is the purpose of this meeting. Also ensure the prompts include the people who will be in this meeting, the date, the time, and so on. Ask it to create a meeting agenda for you. Please note, you know, right here, this is not a school that you are testing. Can you remember off your head? Nah. I am encouraging you to use AI. Use AI to make your work faster. In the workplace, like, I'm glad that all the people that give testimonials today, apart from our recent graduate was talking about, I'm working. You can see about 7 people spoke. Only 1 person is a recent graduate, just for you to have an idea of what I'm talking about. The idea is to be able to work efficiently. Productivity should increase in the workplace. So I'm not trying to test, can the person remember? That is industrial age. I'm trying to test, can the person work smarter using AI to do their own productivity? That is what I am testing. Now, write a good prompt for ChatGPT, and you will now explain. Let me go back to the previous slide, the scenario. The mistakes I've seen people make in previous batches is because they are only telling ChatGPT that I want to launch an online course, WFS. ChatGPT will now go and start designing curriculum for them as agenda. In their agenda, it's telling them you need to talk about curriculum. And I'm telling them that, please, it is important you understand the scenario. The word launch here means I want to launch a marketing campaign to sell WFS. I am not developing curriculum. Because ChatGPT does not understand the context of the launch you are talking about. The moment you tell ChatGPT, we are launching an online course, it's called the BFF, it will start telling you in your meeting agenda, you discuss what the curriculum. I'm just saying, why did I have to point this out? You must be able to think analytically. In the last module of this program, which is design thinking, I spoke in that lesson about how you think about things. Ability to think, systems thinking is key. Think through, what does WFS mean? It is an online course that has been 5 batches. What it means is, of course, the curriculum is there and all those things. So tell ChatGPT, describing, I taught you how to prompt ChatGPT. Describe in detail what you mean by launch. It means that we want to market it. It is a launch, like a marketing launch of a marketing campaign to sell ChatGPT. So again, how do you do that? We said that in that meeting, one of the things we want to do is analyze the result of batch 5. Let's say batch 5, now there are 250 people. What are you, like, think through what are the things that you need to do, then tell ChatGPT that. So the first thing you're going to be submitting to me is on your Google documents, which you come and present in your team. On the Google documents, I want to see the prompts you wrote for ChatGPT. I need to understand your ability to think through a scenario. So the prompt you get ChatGPT will first inform me how you are thinking, which is why I say we are testing some skills amongst other things. Your systems thinking ability to digest a scenario and know the next line of action and the best line of action for that scenario. When I say ensure it includes people who will be in that meeting, I did not say you should put head of HR, head of marketing. You will put, if you put head of HR, there are people in your group. Put the names of the people. All of you appoint yourself a position, right? In that meeting. The next thing you now need to do, number 2 thing that will come, when you are coming to come and tell me this is what you are submitting, you need to now create number 2. A standard operating procedure for the launch of batch 6. Let me again point out certain things as tips. You know, I said we want to launch marketing campaign for batch 6. Based on what I taught you in your SOP module, is that a project kind of SOP or is it a single task kind of SOP? There were 2 lessons that covered SOP. One was talking about project SOP, one was talking about individual task SOP. That is, in a project SOP, there is a particular tool we used, a particular software out of all these Google tools. Which one did we use for the project? In terms of the single task SOP, which document, or was it document, what did we use for single task SOP? So when I say create a standard operating procedure for the launch of batch 6, which type of SOP are you bringing to me to present? Of course, you can ask ChatGPT to give you all the elements of the course. And of course, you're on the course, so you know what is in the course. Use a sample of this SOP I taught of the project we taught you in Module 5, Lesson 8. I even gave you expo. The third thing you are submitting, prompt number 1, 2, project SOP, 3, create a standard operating procedure for one single task in the SOP you created for the project. One single specific task. Meaning, let's say in the launch of your project, one of the things on your project SOP is maybe what I don't know what you are deliberating in your meeting, whatever it is you are going to use to sell, whatever it is you deliberate in your meeting. Let's say one of the things you now suggested is we want to go and sing in the market. I'm just saying, we want to do Instagram Live. Anything you suggest as a simple task, one of the things that is on your project agenda, right? Pick one of those tasks and create a standard operating procedure for it, meaning a procedure that if you give it to somebody that has never been in that place, you hand it over to them, they can execute that particular task from it. Again, ChatGPT to your rescue. You just need to decide as a team, on which task you want to develop a single task SOP for. So what are you submitting to me? You are submitting the prompt of ChatGPT that you first told ChatGPT about, used to tell ChatGPT about iTrain Africa Workplace Foundational Skills. You are submitting the second thing, the project SOP that will comprehend, when you are talking, after you talk to your meeting, ChatGPT, meeting agenda, you can, in fact, Expo, you can tell ChatGPT to tell you what will be, write you a minute of the meeting, because a minute of the meeting can only be generated after the meeting has taken place. That way, you can use that minute of meeting to develop your project SOP, because that's when you have agreed on what is going to take place in that thing, and whatever. But please work smart. Work smart, work smart. 3 things: the prompt, the project SOP, and the single task SOP. You have 1 hour, 15 minutes to deliver it. The PDF has now been sent to your Telegram channel for you to deliberate in it. And Your breakout room will be opened in the next 1 minute. Go into your breakout room, 1 hour, 15 minutes. This 4 o'clock West African time. They are coming back here by 5:15 West African time, and will this thing. Aisha, have you created the breakout rooms? I need to know.
Yes, ma'am.
You have created the breakout rooms now. Fantastic.
Yes.
So how many breakout rooms do we have?
7.
Okay, good. So it's like 10 people in a room. So please, when you come back, each team will have maximum of 3 minutes. In the order of presentation, group 7 will present first. Then group 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So please agree on who is presenting for you. Agree on who is sharing screen. If it is the same person, fine. Immediately we come back here, we are going to start from group 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. 3 minutes each is going to take us about 30 minutes to go through the entire distance. If I call you for more than 30 seconds and you have not unmuted, you are not presenting your group again, we'll go to the next group. Please take note of that. And that will be it. Aisha, open the breakout room, let them into their breakout rooms. Everybody, there's nothing happening here. Go to your breakout room. Aisha, you can stop streaming to YouTube now and we'll stream part 2 later.